Word Mafia.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to another episode of Jesse's Corner. I'm Jesse, and this is my corner. it's right there. The TV's blocking it. So, Suicide Squad movie review is what's happening now. I just saw it. Just got back home from the theater, and I liked it. It was good. It was a good, fun time. A weird, good, fun time. And the weird, I think, is what lost some people. It's not structured like a usual movie. It's kind of disjointed in its pacing. Not like Batman v Superman. Like the whole first, felt like half the movie was setting up the characters, origin stories and stuff. And then it was the mission. And I thought there'd be more in between, but there really wasn't. It was pretty quick once the mission starts. As far as each character goes, I thought they were all great. Yeah. I can't think of one of them that I didn't like. Maybe Slipknot. Some I love to hate, some I love to like. Joker. This is the weirdest Joker, probably. He's the most insane seeming. The Heath Ledger Joker, while totally crazy, had a purpose in that he wanted chaos. This Joker doesn't seem to want anything other than Harley Quinn, and I assume Batman. He doesn't care at all about... He just kind of does... He's honestly a little scary, his performance, and just how quick he turns and how... I don't know. He was intriguing. I gotta see more of him to be sure, and I'm sure we will see more of him. Apparently they cut out a lot of his scenes, and I'm wondering if that's the studio fearing this Joker's performance. And I hope they don't scary too hard away from it, because I think it has potential. You just gotta give it room to fly, you know? Spread its wings. Will Smith. Some would argue Will Smith hasn't really had it in a while. While I don't completely disagree, I am... It's weird because I don't think about it, but I am a pretty hardcore Will Smith fan, I realize. So, I like his performance as Deadshot. Not much more to add to that. He was essentially the main character. You know, everything was kind of through his eyes, more or less. Amanda Waller. Whoa. I think they got her pretty good. I'm not going to say they nailed her, but, I mean, as perfect casting and execution as I think you can get in the first movie with her, you know. They really drive home that she's probably the most evil out of all of them, and she's the one in charge, and I love that a lot. Speaking of things that I love, so one of the reasons I was really excited about this movie is because this movie is doing something that you don't really see a lot in mainstream media, which is what I call guns versus magic. Like in Harry Potter or whatever, they never really involve normal people because, like, oh, we need magic to fight magic. But, like, I don't think you're giving guns enough credit. They kill more than anything else in the history of man every year, you know? So, I mean, I love the idea of normal or normal-ish people fighting magic with guns and man-made weapons. You don't... Like, there's Gate, that anime, Gate, and then this... And then, like, maybe a couple video games. The opening to Metal Gear Solid is also 5. Or V, whatever you want to say. The latest Metal Gear Solid is another example of just fighting, trying to fight magic with guns. I love that stuff. I don't know why. I don't see it enough. This movie has it, and it was pretty cool. There's just some concepts that grab you, you know? For some people, it's being trapped in the virtual MMO game, or I don't know, vampire romance. There's certain concepts that are just grab you. And that one's always been a fun one for me. Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad are the rock and roll superhero movies, which there aren't a lot of, surprisingly. Like Iron Man's close. He had a lot of rock and roll moments, and he's kind of like a rock star in how he deals with his wealth and talent. But these are like rock and roll, you know. It was in frame. Rock and roll. There you go. But honestly, if I were to put these two movies together, Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy was better. But like I said, you can't really compare them. They're different. One thing though, Guardians I think you can't compare on is not character development, but character development. Guardians had less characters, so they could develop the 5 characters as well as they can and sacrifice the villain's backstory. While Suicide Squad tried to do every character justice, and while they may have failed in maybe 1 or 2 areas of that, I think they did give every character justice, more or less, but that's a lot of time, because there's like 100 characters in this movie, and they each get an origin story and a little backstory of how they get captured or what they did to be in jail. It just took up a lot of time, and I think if it had less characters, it probably would have sold better to critics. But who cares what critics have to say? We, the people, decide what's a movie good and what's a movie bad. That didn't sound right. It sounded better in my head. Rating time. Oh boy, I should put more thought into this before standing in front of a camera. I don't remember what I gave the other superhero movies this year. So that's probably a good thing, because I don't want that to influence my rating. But I'm going to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being X-Men Origins Wolverine is a 1, Back to the Future is a 10, and a 5 is... let's go with Ants again. Why not? That's a pretty good 5 movie. So, on that scale, I would give Suicide Squad a 7.1. I'm going to give that a 7.1. I liked it more than Batman v Superman, but not as much as Suicide Squad or Deadpool. Actually, Deadpool's probably a better comparison. I got the hiccups. Oh no. That's going to be crappy. So yeah, somewhere in between Deadpool and Batman v Superman. So that's 5 out of the 6 superhero movies this year. So of those 5, I'm going to say number 1 favorite, Civil War, followed by Deadpool, followed by Suicide Squad, followed by Batman v Superman, followed by X-Men Apocalypse. And the last one this year is not till November, Doctor Strange. Ooh, I wonder how that one's going to fit in. It's going to be so difficult. I got to see this movie again to be sure of my ratings and placements, but I'm pretty confident that that's where my head is at as far as this movie goes. If you didn't like this movie, I can't blame you. It's kind of a weird movie, but I like weird stuff. I mean, yeah.